Rakim, like what are the things, what are the qualities that you think you've seen in him over the last 2 years? What are the assets you think he'll bring to a team, and what might make him one of the top draft picks from the school?
Yeah, as far as what Rock brings to probably the pro game is a dynamic in various ways. I think he's a guy who can play multiple spots, has a lot of position flexibility, meaning that he could be a slot, he can go outside, be your Z body, he can carry the ball. You can see him, he's been in the backfield for us. He has a dynamic route tree, meaning that he can go out and run various routes, not just a one-trick pony as it goes that way. And he's also made plays on special teams. In NFL, there's not as many people on the team, not as many receivers, so everybody's got to contribute and find a way until you make your way into that starting lineup. So I could see him being on the special teams and being either as a returner or as a guy that goes down there in the core and make a bunch of plays that way too.
And Coach Loxley talked about, how his part of his program, your program, has been developing young receivers. So, Dante and Rakim leading, two of the leading receivers over the past couple of years. But you got Ty, Octavian. Should we talk about what you see those guys, how those guys are going to develop, and maybe who the most consistent you saw was last year, and what you expect from them?
Yeah, obviously when you lose as much of the maturity in that room, the number of snaps and how they've been developed, they've been here from the start, and to see their progress, we're going to miss all that from that part. You got some other DMV guys that we talked about from, Ryan Manning is a young player, and other guys from the DMV too. Obviously, you got Octavian, who's from Paint Branch, right up the road. There's 3 or 4 others too. Sean Williams. I mean, it goes on and on, to be honest. And Ty Felton's a guy who's Northern Virginia in the same neck of the woods here. So all those guys have contributed last year. Some being freshmen, some others. Ty being the one's probably a little bit older and from the area that has more experience that way. But looking forward to seeing all those guys perform. We think they have the talent to be all conference players and NFL players. So we're looking forward to see what they can do and bring to the table, because it's a lot more competition now for those spots, other than one guy. So that's pretty much it.
I mean, I think Dante was kind of known as the leader in the amongst those guys. So what's your message to these younger guys that aren't going to have their leaders, Dante and Rakim, around?
Right. Fortunately, we still have a guy that's returning, Jayshon Jones. He's been here. He's working on his second Masters. He's overcome multiple injuries and really played his full first year last year, even though he's been here a while and been very productive. So he's kind of the statesman, elder statesman of the group, and then Ty will be next. But other than that, it's you got to fall in and finding out who can be a leader, not just a playmaker, but who can be a leader. And Octavian and some other guys have stepped up thus far and have shown some of that early in all-season workouts and a little bit from last season. But, this spring will be a big tell on who can really step up and be that guy.
And Coach, you kind of talked about just the younger talent. Obviously, just guys like Jayshon Jones being a veteran coming back. Caden Prather, Tyrese Chambers, those are 2 guys. Local ties, obviously. How have you kind of seen them so far?
Yeah, exactly. Those are 2, really didn't mention as much, but their footprint is deep in the DMV, and both those guys are both transfers coming in, have done a great job as far as, one, just being a part of the group, feeling like it's home because it is home.
Yeah.
And the reason why they came this way is because it's home. Just the feeling from their family being close, to having that support group, to their trainers, to various people around them, that gives you that ability to be more successful. Had a great relationship with Coach Locks from Jump Street.
Yeah.
Recruited earlier before I got here. I actually had recruited both of them at different times from different schools, so had a relationship knowing them from that point. So that helped, that it was friendly, and we knew each other a little bit there and hit it off.
Yeah, always comes full circle. But
no doubt.
Yeah, exactly. And just last thing for me, just going into this spring, obviously to having Talia back, and with a lot of these new receivers, some new, some familiar faces, whatnot. But how do you feel like that's kind of going, and where do you feel like is maybe the biggest to-do list?
The biggest to-do list is like get comfortable. you know, and him getting comfortable with them and them getting comfortable with him because they need to please him. He's the guy with the ball and the guy that makes things happen. So being at the right place at the right time, we call it being quarterback friendly. And we've got freshmen or young guys trying to learn, you know, a new system, even older guys trying to learn a new system. It's important that they spend extra time, and they've been diligent. They've sent me videos and various things of Sunday, late at night, different times. You know, their schedule is just a slight bit different than mine, how they sleep and eat and do things. So they'll be up here in the indoor doing things together. So they've done a great job so far, and we'll see it pay off really throughout the summer, that they continue that and get to know each other. And that's on every level. I saw the same thing in NFL. You can see guys, you know, have fly guys out, or they meet at a certain place and be able to keep the free agents and things going. So that's the way I kind of view it now, is free agency.
Yep, that makes sense.